Who will welcome the audience? Want to welcome people? Tell them thank you for coming.
Thank you for watching the show.
Oh, you're so nice, you see? I would say, thanks for joining AHAH, which would just, everybody, it would be not a welcome, really. It would be, and everyone would run. What does he want from us? Matt, how would you welcome our audience?
I don't know. Welcome.
Oh, you're both very nice.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, they're both very nice. You see, so you could stay now.
Yeah.
You could always leave. This time you could stay around. Because this is relevant. We're talking about the heart of Jesus' message in the middle of June. It's very topical.
We've become really evangelical, haven't we?
We have, yes. Yeah. We're going to do Judaism when you come back,
okay.
or Buddhism if you come back. Matt's coming back from China, and this is something to look forward to.
We'll do Taoism.
Wow, okay. Or there's something to look forward to if this hot weather's getting you down. In September, Matt will be back from a 2-month stay in China? No, in
China.
In China. But we're not going to go there now. You're going to have to wait and be patient to find out what that was like. We are now going to discuss, we're going to discuss the heart of Jesus' message, because Ha is a virgin as far as Christianity goes. Maybe other ways too, but we're not going to look into that.
They tried to convert me. That's why they brought me to the show.
Oh no! I want to be converted. I want to know what you. I want to know. So, we left. We could really be mean, Ha, and have a quiz like, what's the 3 temptations of Jesus in the desert?
Okay.
Remember any?
Yes.
Wow.
First one was to turn stone into bread.
Because. I was right. You're very right, though. You see, I'm a mean teacher. I should have said wonderful. You did great. And
you didn't ask because.
Yeah, I didn't ask you
before I
because.
answered the question.
Yeah, we for Matt and I to provide color. That was because when you're very hungry, and we have that problem all the time with eating,
hungry,
right? When you're very hungry, you want to just eat, and you have to not lose yourself in front of. And we brought visuals. We've got visuals now. These are some beautiful coated pretzels.
Yogurt
coated pretzels. These are healthy too. But we have to say no. We are not going to convert yogurt colored pretzels into Matt. That's the miracle of food. And the other.
The second was to have people worship him, revere him.
Yes, yes. It's stated in the Bible, that Satan says, "Worship me." But I at least myself, I'm sure that meant that it's very tempting, isn't it, huh?
Yes.
When you're beautiful and brilliant, to want people to worship you.
No, I don't. No.
Wow. Only that.
It's tempting for me to have good relationship with people, but I don't need them to worship me.
You don't need them to worship you.
As long as we get along and we're happy,
you
don't need to worship me.
Some part of me wants to worship everybody. Everybody. In some ways I do. Matt is, how could you listen to Matt without worshiping him?
No, I do worship Matt.
Oh,
I worship you
guys.
as well.
Wow! I worship you too, huh? Oh, I hope this isn't too revolting. I hope you haven't changed the channel and you can't stand this.
And Jim Smith
and
too.
Jim Smith.
Yeah,
Jim
definitely.
And Liz, if you're watching, we worship you. Okay, so now we got that's 2. So that's one. Isn't that a wonderful way to understand that temptation, though? That he doesn't want it to be just him.
Yeah. It's like me. It's not just about. I don't need people to worship me, but I would like to worship people.
Yes, I like to, and I think I like it both, to be adored and cherished. Yes.
Oh yeah, especially for Matt. Yeah, I need to be adored and cherished.
Yes. Wow. And what does that mean to be adored and cherished?
He kept telling me I'm a flower.
For me, it's a lot of running around.
We're fine. This is a very practical show. Don't think we're just up in the worshiping, adoring. We're into running around when you going places where like what? He's speechless.
Yeah, the store.
It's the store.
Running back and forth.
Matt has done a lot of running today.
Yes.
So.
Was this a shopping day, man?
I'm a man of action.
Was this a shopping day?
It was a cleaning day.
A cleaning day.
Cleaning day.
Oh. Okay, so this is a practical show. And the third, huh?
The third.
I'm amazed already. You're ready. You've graduated with honors. I wonder if you got into Harvard. She got into Harvard Business School answering these questions. Harvard Business School is moving into a deep spiritual business.
Good for the world. The third was to throw himself off the cliff.
Yes, because sometimes you feel when all this power comes into you and you realize how wonderful you and everyone are, sometimes it's hard to bear. Yes, Matt? That's at least my take on this. It's just you can't take this. Or sometimes it comes in waves and then it goes and you feel like you're just everything or nothing. That's at least my understanding.
Wasn't it, he faces that temptation again, though, on the cross when they've nailed him down and they say, if you are the Son of God, then save yourself now. And you want to think that he tries to, but he can't.
Wow.
And then yells, God, why have you forsaken me?
Oh, my. I had a friend of mine who died and wanted to know the difference between the two, and I think I discovered it on this show. The difference is the first one is for himself. The temptation is if you are so wonderful, God will protect you, and so you can just jump and angels will take care of you. And it's not about him.
Yeah, I read that too. I read that the first way was if you are so powerful, then become God. Be God. Don't just be the Son of God, be God. And then the second way was if you are that powerful and if you are the Son of God, then prove it by some outlandish act of faith, such as jumping and falling. And then we were talking last time after the show how there's a Buddhist scripture that if you are a good person and you fall off a cliff, there will always be a tree to catch you.
Yes, I forgot that.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of an interesting one.
Because I have a friend who told me he feels that he is just falling and there's nothing to hold on to.
That's the Reinhold Niebuhr. No, it's the not Niebuhr, but who is the theologian that was Solitude? Karl Rahner.
Yes.
He always talks about you fall into the hands of God.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
It's the leap. It's the ultimate leap. It's just to leap with your eyes closed into the hands of God.
Wow.
Just to fall.
So what do you make of all these words? Growing up in Vietnam, what do all these big religious words mean? If anything.
But I don't know if it means anything. It's an interesting story. But you asking me?
Yes. I like. Well, then if it doesn't speak to you, we're going to move on. So I think we left Joshua when Mary was being surrounded with people with stones in their hands, right? I think we did. Did we do this? And they were going to kill her for being a prostitute.
Yes.
And there was a lot in Vietnam when U.S. were there. That was a huge business.
Still is.
Still is.
Yeah.
Ouch. And Joshua came and said, "Whoever's without sin, let him cast the first stone." And everybody left. Right? Remember this?
Yeah. They were afraid he was going to write in front of each of them.
All their sin, yes.
Yeah.
Like, if this is a hard question, if we were going to write one word to reveal that you are a sinner, would probably even those words don't make sense to you, do they? Being a sinner?
I understand the meaning of the word, but in my world, we don't talk about sins. I mean, it's not a conception that we grew up with, so we don't think about it that way.
Yes, but people do punish people, certainly.
Yeah.
Yes, and so
yeah,
they were
crimes.
Yeah, they were being
Sin,
punished, and so it would be like Joshua saying, anyone who doesn't deserve to be punished, let them throw a stone.
Yeah.
But do you deserve to be punished, huh? You don't even think that way, do you?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm not
No.
deserved to be punished.
And
even Mary, that's her name.
Yes.
The prostitute.
Yes, doesn't deserve to. Yes.
No.
So these stories, it's interesting. Thank you. These stories don't really resonate with you.
No.
Whereas some people like me, growing for much of my life, I punished myself. Bam, bam, ooh, ooh. Yes, right. It was like I had better taste than to associate with someone like me. You know, you have higher standards.
So it's like, hey, any club that will let me in, I don't want.
Yes, they have bad taste.
Yeah.
No, yes, but I don't feel that way anymore. Finally, it took a long, immense amount of time. And you don't feel that way, do you? Or do you?
I think we all do.
Oh, we do. No, Ha doesn't.
Ha doesn't good, but I mean, that's because she's Ha. And, you know,
So maybe all her brothers and sisters and community in Vietnam don't feel that way.
maybe.
And they were so punished. They were way punished than we'll
Yeah.
ever be punished.
We were talking though that we were having this conversation how Christianity and Catholicism was really good at describing God in intricate detail, whereas Buddhism is very good at describing the day-to-day and how to deal with the day-to-day in intricate detail. And that's why the church is just such a horrible job at cultivating people's spirituality, whereas Buddhism is very good for cultivating people's spirituality because it's more practical.
But we're setting, now that you've heard Matt's words, we're setting the whole Christian world straight and clear.
Starts today, people.
Yes, yes. And so in some ways, but these are beautiful stories because in some ways they're agreeing with Ha that no one deserves punishment.
No one.
No one. Don't punish anybody because you've got mistakes.
Yeah, and people make mistakes because of their circumstance. I find people when they're put in crazy circumstance, they will commit crazy acts, and so it's not them; it's the circumstance they are in push them.
Isn't that beautiful? That's kind of the heart of Christianity from someone who.
You would hope.
It is now. It is. This is being
It
broadcast around. This is. Now, so now I'm going to go on to some of the essential teachings, which you probably agree with. One of them I was going to. First of all, there's the very famous one: if someone slaps you on the cheek,
Yeah.
you're supposed to, according to Joshua, at least some of the time, you're supposed to turn the other cheek and say, "Oh, here's my other cheek."
I like that.
Sounds very fun. It's
Yeah.
almost like kissing. Woo, woo. Oh, here again. I'm teaching this. I'm not making this up, man. I'm teaching this in prison, and we're acting this out on Easter week with my women prisoners, and one of them's Jesus, and one of them is hitting Jesus, and the woman who's being hit says, "Do it again." Oh yes, do it again. So that was the heart of it.
Yeah.
So we're getting
Forgiveness.
what?
Forgiveness.
Yes, or even enjoying this. Maybe you could even enjoy being slapped
Well,
again.
turning into something witty.
Turn it into something witty?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, they did.
Funny, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were telling me to do that.
Oh.
Like you were telling Matt to stop chewing. But you haven't called me Michael yet. Michael's...
Miguel. I will call you Miguel. from now on.
No. I like being called because you're hot. I'm so where were we? Oh, yeah. So another beautiful teaching is, which if the world would listen to this would be wonderful. You know what Gandhi, when they asked Gandhi about Christianity, what he said?
What?
He said, it's a wonderful religion. I hope they try it sometime. Because this is about the nations. At the end of time, which could be at every moment, right?
Yeah.
In some ways, every moment, the nations are going to be judged. And the question is going to be, Joshua asked this, did you feed me when I was hungry? And his students say, whose students were not as bright as you are, the students say, well, we didn't see you hungry. And he said, anytime anyone is hungry, that's me. Isn't that nice?
Anytime anyone is hungry,
It's me.
it's me.
And so if you love me,
Feed
you will
them.
feed them. Isn't that's so, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard one to honor because there's lots of hungry people, even in Cambridge, on the streets asking for
Yeah.
orders and dollars.
Yeah.
Yes, your money, your hard money. Yes, you're
I owe a lot to people. Yeah.
going to owe, we don't even want to get into those astronomical numbers after Harvard Business School. No, but after you work for 40 years, like 40 days in the desert, 40 years, you'll be out of debt. Okay, so, and then the other one is, did you visit me when I'm in prison? And they said these people were not bright. He got the basic fisherman,
Yeah.
They said, they still didn't get it. Well, when were you in prison? And he said the same thing. When, anytime anyone's in prison, that's me. He really could feel it. It's very beautiful.
Wow.
Isn't this beautiful?
Yeah.
Very compassionate.
Yes, it's and really saying it, and to really feel with his body what it's like to be this other person. And there's the third one. Did you comfort me when I was in the hospital, when I was sick? And they said, when were you sick? And he's told them, anytime anyone's in the hospital, that's me. That's a very, very, so that's one of the beautiful hearts of it, really. But then he adds, because he's tough, not like, you're tough. Actually, you were tough too, huh?
I'm very tough.
Yes, you're tough. But I don't know if you would be this tough. He says that the nations that don't do this are going to go to the place of gnashing of teeth. And yes, that's what he said. Gnashing. That's like doing this to your teeth. You're just, ugh, oh. And he might have even said fire, I'm not sure. But it was, if you don't do this, but it's in some ways true. If you don't do this, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Like this nation might be in trouble because we're not doing this. But now, after you've heard the show, all will be well. So any other comments, questions, feelings, thoughts about this particular? We've in some ways got the heart of his teaching, Matt. Yes.
A couple others that I really liked. Live free of anxiety.
Yes.
Relax. It's going to be okay.
Oh yes. This is. I'm going to give. That's loosely translating. Oh, that would be so cool. Don't worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough troubles of its own. Isn't that nice?
Just relax. It's going to be okay.
Don't worry. Isn't that nice? Each day, and he doesn't just say, "Don't worry about tomorrow." He understands. Each day has enough troubles.
Yeah.
I don't think of each day as enough trouble. Each day, it's
Enough joy.
a joy in
Yes,
itself.
yes, it is. So, Joshua, we're going to have to. Ha is rewriting your words.
He says it like in Matthew. He says it says it in a couple places where it's not that we've got enough troubles today, but just enjoy it.
Enjoy the day. Does he say
enjoy
that?
It's. He says it in a way where it reads like, "Don't worry about it. Things are going to be okay. Relax.
You have
Live
to show
free.
me this.
Live free of anxiety.
You have to show me this.
Anxiety is the antithesis of it's an offshoot of fear. Anxiety.
It makes sense if you have faith.
If you have faith, relax. It's going to be okay. That was a big one. You can't serve two masters. I thought was a good one.
Explain that to Ha.
You can.
How could you do that? You're both in business school. Explain this.
Well, you see, it's where you build your house. It's where you build your foundation.
Yes.
It's if you're growing towards God, you're fine. But if you're growing towards wealth and purely wealth, if the money is your God, then you're going to be in trouble. If God is your God, you're going to be
And then you
fine.
can get rich. As some of the new evangelicals say.
You can get rich, but if your richness, if that becomes your trappings, then you're no
Then in
longer.
danger.
Then it doesn't matter.
I'm worried about both of you.
I'm worried about us all the time.
Yes. No, I'm worried, but I shouldn't. Don't worry about Matt and Ha, even though they're going to the most prestigious business school in the country, and they're going to each owe a block of Cambridge high-value real estate after going for 2 years of this.
But he doesn't say anywhere don't get rich. He doesn't say anywhere don't get poor. He says remember the poor. Don't let your trappings become your trappings.
He has a hard line that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. A needle is like a little slit in the city, which a camel can go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to get into the kingdom of heaven.
That one is, I heard it described as the camel getting through the doorway is very thin.
Yes.
And so it was an overladen camel with too many baggages.
Oh,
and too much positions.
that's so sweet. That is very
Getting
beautiful.
through,
Yes.
can't get through. Whereas I imagine that if I was
A lean means.
a spiritual machine,
Yes.
if you die and you're carrying around all those trappings in your heart, and you're still worried about your money, and you're still greedy, and you still want more and more and more, that spirit that you're going to be carrying over to the other side is going to be one of anguish, and one that isn't capable of sitting comfortably with God. If you're growing with money or you're growing with not money, if you have no money and you're filled with anxiety, if you have no money and you're not visiting those in prison, those in hospital, those that are sick, then what's the difference between that and a rich man who's not doing those things? But if you're rich, financially, but still rich in of heart, then when you die, it's the same thing.
So I have a question for Ha with all this word. Like, I'm sure you weren't taught about. What did they say about God when you grew up in Vietnam? Anything at all?
I didn't hear
Nothing.
nothing about God.
Is there a word in Vietnamese for God?
Yeah,
What's the word?
Chúa trời.
Say it again.
Chua.
Chua?
Chua.
That's beautiful. But they never taught you bad or good about it. Nothing.
Well, chua is good. It's from heaven.
Oh, I see.
One.
And so, what do you make of this talk about God in Christianity and Judaism and Islam?
Ooh, you should talk to me after the summer. I have to think more about it.
Oh, okay, because that's a hard one. Yes, what is
But it's interesting. You said what you just said about the camel get through the needle is easier than the rich
Man
man.
in heaven.
getting into
heaven.
heaven? Yes.
Why did he? That's Joshua's word.
Yes, those are his words.
Why did he say so? It's just not correct.
Well,
I mean, that's what as just Matt explained. I don't think it's the matter of money. It's the matter of heart.
Yeah.
yes. So I love Matt's explanation. If you're carrying too much, you might have trouble getting through. Like if you make Matt shop too much.
I see. I've
carried
met,
too
yeah.
many things.
I've met plenty of poor people that have either chosen to become poor or poor because of their own whatever reason, who are as angry and self-possessed as any rich person I've ever met, who carry the same spiritual baggage as
Yes.
what Jesus is describing here.
Another beautiful thing, I think this is beautiful, is that the kingdom of heaven is here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is
I
very
love
beautiful.
that.
Whatever that means. What would that mean to both of you? That the kingdom of heaven is here. And whenever two or three, well, this may be somewhat
I love
similar.
this one. I love
Whenever
this one.
two or three, there's three of us here, yes, I think.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Whenever two or three are gathered in my name, I am there, which is sweet.
Love is there.
Yes, and love is, yes. Whatever, if we're here for love, no, and for you too, and for Jim, it's spreading to Somerville. Okay, so isn't that lovely? So the kingdom of heaven is here. It's not anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. I
This is-
agree with that.
This is heaven. If
We are living in heaven.
yes.
Here's my grand take on it. Since we have, I'll do it in 2 minutes.
Okay, you have even 4.5.
And then we can. But that people, I feel that people are terrified of love, especially when it's dressed in something like Jesus, and it's dressed in the Word of God. People become terrified. But if you open yourself up to that and you see Christ as a conduit, or Gandhi as a conduit, or Zhuangzi as a conduit of love, then it's just like life becomes so much grander and nicer, and we all know how it's going to end. Like we know how the show ends. We all die, and
Not this show. He's not talking about this show.
Well,
You can still live in 4 minutes, and yes.
it's just like, why not? Like that Pascal sort of wager. Like we know how it's going to end, so why not go through with a little bit of love?
Right, but I'm just getting it. But for those of us who are afraid of love, remember Nelson Mandela said we're most afraid of how loving and powerful we are. What do you?
Yeah.
And AHAH is not afraid of that at all, right?
No.
Never has been. Is that true? Oh yes. Well, your previous boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was very different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
You were
different.
afraid to be you. Were you or not?
No, I was not afraid to be me, but I didn't know who I was.
Oh. So you see, and now you know how wonderful you are.
Yes.
Thanks to Matt. Thanks to
yes.
Matt adoring and worshiping and
Yes,
cherishing you.
yes.
And going all over the place.
Happiness takes work, my friend.
Yes. Oh. We hate to tell that to you. What kind of work, Matt? Because this is the kingdom of heaven's work. We have only 3 minutes to reveal that the kingdom of heaven not only is here, but it's in your home too. And Matt is going to tell you how you can feel this.
There's that sign up on the bookstore up the street. So it's a quote by Mark: "True spirituality is happiness." Like if you can feel it in each small step you take. If you can just allow yourself to experience the miracle of life, and just what a wonderful experience it is we're having.
Wow.
Even in the poorest, the darkest, and the worst, there's still just such great love and life out there.
You can now tell. We still have 2 minutes for each of you to tell one of you to tell one experience of how that, what one time reveals that to you, that you're discovering that it's just love and beautiful even when it isn't. My former girlfriend who couldn't make it tonight. I think I told you I love this. Every moment is a gift, even if it sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just so if you're not liking this, if you think it sucks, this show is still a gift. And you remember that. It's a beautiful gift, and don't say otherwise. This moment, the kingdom of heaven is here, in spite of what you're thinking. Find it.
It's true. There's a great there was a reggae artist called Yabi Yu, big dreadlocks, writes great dub tunes. You've got to go out and buy them. But he's going and he's picking up his he's trying to date this girl in Kingston, and the girl's dad is a minister. He comes down the stairs and he sees Yabi Yu with his big dreadlocks. And he just kind of shakes his head, and Yabi Yu says, for you the celebration begins when you die. For me, the celebration is each moment.
What did the father do? Gee.
I guess he let him date the daughter.
Wow, that's a great father.
Yeah.
It was a great man.
Yeah.
So we have 1 minute to leave. Any last words of anything
For the summer.
for the summer? Yes, this is it, folks. We're losing Matt. Losing Matt to China. This is what's happening. China is.
No, he come back to me.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's true faith.
Well, summer is here. Just go out, enjoy, do things that you never think you would do. Maybe you'll find something interesting.
Such as
Dancing.
Dancing.
Taking classes with Jim Smith at the Cambridge Adult
Oh,
Education
music,
Center.
yes.
Music.
There's also dancing. There's tango dancing this Saturday
Oh,
on the bridge over the Charles River at the full moon. Yes.
yes. Matt
Yeah.
will not be here, so I will enjoy it.
Oh, yes. Okay, what we have time is for more kissing. We have 10 seconds for kissing. Everybody, but we're spreading this to you. The kingdom of kisses is among us.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
CCTV is open, but
CCTV is friendly and good to work in. Diverse and lively.
CCTV is an orange head.
original.
Enjoyable.
Very organic.
Erotic.